Okay, let's take a look at the next map. This is on page 99. So we have this map. It's of the United States. Again, I want you to notice that there are no state names on here, but each of the states has its two-letter postal code. So we need to know the postal codes, what states they stand for. So in this map, the title says United States percent change in population 2000 to 2010. So why those dates? Because those are the decade dates at which we do the census, like we're right in the middle of doing right now. In 2000, there was a nationwide count of everyone. 2010, nationwide count of everyone. 2020, we're in the middle of a nationwide count of everyone. So you can look at the records from 2000 to 2010 and see how many people lived in each spot in the United States, in states or in areas. Okay, so on this map, very important, the key over here, the map key over here, the green on the map means the population went up. From 2010 to 2000 to 2010, the number of people living in an area went up. The blue shows the decline, how many fewer people there were in a spot in 2010 than there were in 2000. And we have Alaska and Hawaii out here in the middle of Mexico, right? But that's because the map can't be big enough to include them. They're too far away. All right, so let's take a look. This is pretty clear-cut, but it is a slightly confusing map because it has lots of tiny little spots of color. But you'll see we don't need to be able to see every tiny little spot. Question number 3. Which of the following states experienced the greatest population loss between 2000 and 2010? So we're looking for the darkest blue. The darkest blue areas are the greatest population loss, right? It says the darkest blue means that there was a loss of 46.6 to 10.1 people in those 10 years. All right, now the hard part is we have to know where the states are. So here's Hawaii out there. There's almost no dark blue there, so it can't be that. Where's Utah? Utah is right here. So there's not a lot of dark blue there. The second one said Florida, sorry. Not a lot of dark blue there. The fourth state on here says North Dakota. We have to know where North Dakota is. So it's up here. And there's a lot of dark blue up there. So we know just by looking for where the most dark blue is that the answer here needs to be A, North Dakota. Number 4, which parts of the country were the greatest, in which parts of the country were the greatest population losses? Okay, so now we're looking down, again, we're looking for the most dark blue, but what we want to look for is not the names of the states, but the regions. The West Coast, the South Atlantic Coast, the Great Plains, and one state's in there, Florida. Well, if you're not sure about where each of those regions are, look back in the earlier lesson. I think it's the first lesson in Canvas for our class. There's a handout in there that talks about different regions. So we have the West Coast, not very much dark blue. The South Atlantic Coast, here's the Atlantic Ocean. This is the southern Atlantic coast down here. Not very much dark blue. The Great Plains. The Great Plains are in this area here, from the Rocky Mountains to the Mississippi River and up towards the north. Lots of dark blue there. And Florida doesn't have very much dark blue at all. So looking at the colors, the Great Plains is the answer, C, letter C. Number 5, in general, which of the following parts of the country experienced the highest rate of growth between 2000 and 2010? So again, we're looking for the most dark green, because the dark green shows the greatest population growth, the highest numbers for population growth. So again, we have some regions on here. We have to know that the Northeast is over here. There's not very much dark green there. The Southwest is down here. There's some dark green there, right? Hawaii and Alaska. Hawaii doesn't have any dark green. Alaska doesn't have much, if any, dark green. So that's not high population growth. The Central Plains mean about the same thing as the Great Plains. So we have a lot of dark blue in there, but not a lot of dark green. So of these areas, the one that has the most darkest green is the Southwest over here. So the answer is B. Okay? All right, number 6. What generalization can you make about the northeastern area on the map? Northeastern. This is the Northeast region, also called New England. And A, it experienced the greatest population growth. That would be lots of dark green. There's not much there. B, it experienced the greatest population loss. Well, there's not that much dark blue there. There's more dark blue over here, right? So that's probably not the case. Most of the area has experienced a decline in population. So when you look closely at the colors, there's more blue in that area than there is green, even though it's not dark blue. But most of the area is blue there, whether it's lighter blue or darker blue. And D, the population has increased in most of the area. No, there's not much green there, so there's no population increase. So C is the most likely answer there. And number 7, based on the map, which of the following statements can you infer? That means, can you make a logical guess about? Can you infer about the population, based on the map, which of the following statements can you infer about the population of the U.S. between 2000 and 2010? The dates of this map. A, the northeastern border of the United States is more attractive to new residents than the southern border is. Well, the northern border, there's more dark blue and blue. So they had bigger population losses. So it's probably not more attractive than down here, the southern border. The southern border is the border with Mexico, right? And there's a lot more green, shades of green over here. So this must be more attractive because more people moved here. There were the greatest population gains during this period. B, neither Hawaii nor Alaska is attractive to new residents. Well, there are some green areas in Alaska. There are light green areas in Hawaii, but not as much as up here. C, every state has areas that lose population each year. Well, we'd have to look really carefully at each state. And you know, these little colors on the map are not easily distinguishable within states, but it's possible that there is somewhere in each state that is blue. We'd have to check each state. That would take a little bit. Of the 3 states on the West Coast, Eastern Oregon is the least attractive to new residents. So if we look along the West Coast here, we see that Eastern Oregon, so Oregon, Eastern Oregon, is a big patch of blue. So it's possible that that's the answer. Now, I think this is a badly written question. I think the answer could either be C, if we were to check each state, or D. The workbook says D. Okay, so we'll go with that. All right, we're going to stop here and pick up the last 2 maps on the last video. All right, thanks.